Joe likes Scorsese, and Raanan is Jewy. It's Joe and Raanan talk movies.
Action!
Here we go. We're back.
What's the low energy?
Low energy?
Yeah, you went, here we go. It was very downtrodden.
I'm
Usually
sorry.
you're up and crazy.
I did Rogan. I'm trying to do the kind of cool, laid back, I don't give a shit thing.
Great Rogan. Nothing bad came of it. It was perfect. When can you talk about that? That's what you should talk about.
Can't talk about that. But
Ooh, we'll just tease it and say Rannan's been reprimanded.
But I like Rogan's style.
the
He
big
acts
dog.
like you haven't pressed record yet. And so I'm
shit.
trying to do that. I'm just
no. What does Mark 1 mean? That just means I've made a mark, right? Okay, great. Mark Norman.
But I'm trying to be off now. That's how you do podcasts. Just off, Just
No,
off.
we failed at Rogan. We're Rogan failures, don't you see? Someone made a good point. Ian Lara, who's Ian Lara. The three of us had a conversation.
Yeah, I love Ian. I've always said Ian is the most well-adjusted, wise, like one of the wise guys. Wise comics. A good fellow, a wise guy.
Wise.
I think he's wise.
Well-adjusted, yeah, and he's smart. I don't know about wise.
Any black guy who's not an idiot, I think, is wise.
You low-key say some of the most racist shit, which I got to tell this story. It's so funny. First of all, you're a big liberal. You're always calling me a right-wing asshole, and then you have all the same opinions now, by the way. One conflict, and you're over on my side, which is just moderate left.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can't talk about politics. They hate
don't
us.
talk about politics.
But you're low-key, you're like Dice Clay or some shit. The other day, you're a real Larry David. You're walking around upsetting everybody. I got 4 people that are upset with you. I'm like, both my openers are furious with you. Because you assume anyone that's in shape is like a
Yeah, this is a big thing years
Can we
ago.
We got demonetized last time.
Really?
Bleep the R word.
Bleep the R word. Can I say their names or no? Or what do we do?
Sure.
Matt Wade hates me because years ago, I said me and him have the same body. And apparently...
Go look him up. It's
apparently
hilarious.
He's jacked. Is he still jacked?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at the pictures now, and I don't see a difference.
Matt Wayne is has posh, like his shoulders back. He's like barrel chested.
I'm barrel chested. This is a barrel.
That's a bad barrel.
It's a fucking barrel.
That's like a homemade kid project barrel.
It might be an old barrel, but it's a barrel. This is barrel.
No barrel. You got
what is
bosoms. I can see him, and he's athletic. He's on a football team. He plays football.
Yeah, but he's like the fat guy on the football team,
He's not. He's a vegan, which is another thing you offended him.
Because I said
He said, "I'm a vegan." You're like, you look like you would stuff a vegan's head down the toilet. And then you did this.
Yes,
8 Mountains. We're talking movies. 8 Mountains. I love one of my favorite movies in the last 10 years. You hated it because you're a dimwit. And he's like, he loved it. And then I went on stage and you go, all right, Joe's gone. You can admit that you didn't like it. So you're implying he's just an asshole who pretends to like things.
Me, I'm like, this guy sounds awesome. I love this guy.
He
holds barred.
It's so rude, and he saw the movie before me. So, by the way, you're probably just projecting, and you're acting like he's a fucking big dipshit idiot with your body and pretending to like movies so he can stay in my good graces.
He's jacked, but it's still the stocky from far away.
He's not even stocky.
He's stocky. He's not even stocky.
You know Matt. I mean,
is he not
do they
stocky?
look similar?
No, I say he's in better shape.
But it's
a lot better shape.
But it's still like when far away, you're just thinking stocky people.
Would you do a sketch in a wife beater?
I mean, I would, but for laughs.
Exactly. You did it not for laughs.
He's a straight guy. Yeah, show him that one.
The first time I met him, he was in a great.
Well, I guess I got to see him without a shirt because I just feel like he has a stocky vibe.
But we don't need to see without a shirt. I can see you with the shirt.
All right, he's jacked.
I'm not trying to body shame you. You look great.
Feels like
you
I'm
look
getting body
terrific.
shamed a
But
little.
if you're going to compare yourself to this man,
All right, can I say this?
and then you called him he said he looked like a jock idiot, and then I was like, oh yeah, we went and saw Matt Wayne's film, and you were like this. Matt Wayne made a film? He looks like he'd fucking... You did. You were like, he looks like he eats film before breakfast or some
I love
shit.
Matt. He's
and how can he
hilarious.
have your body but be a jock who's too stupid to make a movie?
Here's what I think, okay? He is jacked. Matt, if you're listening to this, you are jacked. I am fat.
I'm not saying you're fat.
But what's the option?
I'm saying you're not big and barrel-chested and athletic and playing football and doing push-ups with great posture.
Okay. Oh, can I just say this? And this might even be more insulting, but let me just say
Sure.
this.
There's no way you're going to say something that's not insulting. I won't let him watch.
I feel when I look at him, I go, that's the best I can look if I get really jacked, and it feels not worth it.
Wow. I mean, I'd like to see you do it. See if it's worth it.
I love Matt.
Get in the shape and see if it's worth it.
He's very jacked. He's very funny. I love Matt. Quit making.
He's got a new special coming out. Brand new special coming out. Take a sniff.
He made a special? Just joking.
Executive produced by
He's going to
moi.
listen to this. I love Matt.
I'm not saying you don't love him. I'm just rifling down the list of things that you've said that are offensive.
Well, first of all I said was I look like him. He's the one who took it.
And you double down. You said it later like 3 times.
But who's the one being insulted? The one who says, like, well, first of all, it's unfortunate that when I say I look like someone, the other person's wildly insulted. That's unfortunate to begin with.
He's not insulted. He's just confused. Yeah. I mean, look at this man. That's a buff man.
Yeah, we both have tits. His tits are just firm.
He's got firm tits.
He's got firm tits, and I got flabby tits.
And you got soft.
There's still
Soft and
tits.
firm.
There's still tits.
Tits and pecs.
You grab either one.
There's tits and there's
Yeah,
pecs.
he looks
Can we
good.
plug
He looks
this photo in. Plug that into the middle of the.
He looks like
thing.
he looks like a Nazi. He's so like blonde and well built. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, he's Sicilian, I think.
Is he Sicilian?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were Nazis. How about that? By the way, I was talking to Kate last night, and we were talking about how like. You know, the Japanese got put in concentration camps.
You're so racist.
The Japanese got put in concentration camps because of Japan in World War II. But they must have been like, why are they putting the Germans and the Italians in concentration camps?
Great point.
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck?
You got great points.
They must have been. Well, I think that was Kate, maybe. Yeah, that was Kate. But like,
Well, she's got great points, but she got it from you.
you got it. Yeah, she
got the great point quality from you.
I'm a muse for great points. But the Japanese people were probably in that concentration camps being like, it's fucked up there's no Germans. I can't help but feel like this might be a little racist.
Yeah, it's a great point. Well, they did the sneak attack because the Germans didn't attack us.
The Germans didn't attack us.
Neither did the Italians.
The Japanese did do the sneak attack. But
And we had more Germans and Italians living amongst us. And there's another thing I'm thinking of as I say this.
And the Japanese have shifty eyes.
Yeah, you cut off my joke. What the fuck?
Sorry.
I hate that. I hate when people do that. I'm clearly about to do a bit.
You're so deadpan, I didn't realize you're doing a bit.
I know. I have this problem. People on podcasts, I'm too good.
You're too good.
People all the time are like, List thinks fucking them. I'm like, that's a joke, you jackass.
You're very deadpan.
I like to be deadpan.
You're very deadpan. But yeah, well, anyway, what was your joke?
What?
You had a joke. But the Japanese.
Oh, I was going to make a joke that they're not white. That was going to be the joke.
Oh, yeah.
The Germans and Italians are white.
But that
and
is,
the Japs aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main reason. Though apparently
seems like it.
Apparently they did assault a lot of Germans in America too.
I'm
Especially
sure.
in World War I. I think they lynched a couple Germans.
I'm sure. I think there was a Z in my name, and my great grandfather was like, "Get this
Get that
Z out of here."
You
Yeah,
have some Germanic
list.
You have some list.
Yeah, but according to my grandpap, not according, that's just like the family history. Many Germans migrated west to Ireland, like the 16th century. So my grandfather, the list, they had been in Ireland for like 3 generations.
But some neurotic Jew fucked someone in your family. They got in there somehow.
Maybe.
It had to be. Some neurotic Jew.
Well, I told you, I was in Auschwitz, and they have the list of everyone that died, and there's like 7 Joseph lists. There's tons of lists.
Wow. It's a bunch of Joe lists. That's crazy.
Many Joe lists.
In the
have died.
Holocaust, the Nazis were like, Joe List.
Come on down.
Joe List, you won an award, a shower.
This is probably what gets us demonetized.
But yeah, they said Joe List, get in that. They said Joe List, get in that gas chamber. I mean shower. Get in that shower.
They pull the curtains back and he comes out with a suit.
That's wild. I wonder. There's probably no Raanan Hirschbergs in the Holocaust.
There might be.
I don't know. I think it's a Hebrew, like kind of modern name. I don't think anyone's called Raanan before Israel.
We'll have to look it up. We'll have to go back. We should go to Auschwitz together. We should do it.
I'm
live
going to
show.
Auschwitz.
Oh.
You want to come with me? I'm going to London to see my friend McCabe's play.
No, Auschwitz is not in London.
It's not in London?
No.
I thought it was in London.
No, they moved it. It's in Poland now.
It's in Poland? Oh, I thought it was London.
No,
I thought it was the Globe, like
they
when Shakespeare.
moved it a while ago.
But we're going to London, then we're taking a very cheap trip to Krakow, and then we're going to go
Krakow's
to Auschwitz.
awesome.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's awesome.
Pictures.
And what you can do is go to the Schindler's List factory.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I saw on the Krakow Things to Do, it said Schindler's List tour, and I was kind of thinking, isn't that just a Holocaust tour?
That's funny. Well, I had this.
Like, you got to call it Schindler's List.
I had
the
this,
Liam Neeson tour of Auschwitz.
I had this thought, and I wanted to do it as a bit because this happened to me a couple times when I was in Krakow. The thing that was most impressive to me was that like Steven Spielberg and Liam Neeson were here. Like they shot part of the film there. Like that's crazy. And it's the same with Dallas. I went to Dealey Plaza, and I was like, Tommy Lee Jones was right here.
That's how it happens. Literally,
Oliver Stone was here.
Most people's association when someone says Holocaust, they immediately think of the actor from the Taken franchise. That's literally like your first. When someone says Holocaust, they think Liam Neeson. That's crazy. They think this Irish actor. It's insane.
What percentage of people do you think that?
I think a lot.
Like mass death. Well, yeah, it seems like a lot of people.
I think if you say Holocaust, I have Liam Neeson in my head. Not even from Schindler's List. I have Liam Neeson from Taken.
I just watched that movie.
You say Holocaust, it's here. I have a particular set of skills.
Let's talk movies.
Okay, yeah.
I watched Taken for the first time ever, thinking it was going to be fun. It's like ridiculously bad. It
really
silly.
Takes xenophobia to a whole new level. He's like, don't go to France. They'll like kidnap you immediately. And you're like, France? And then she goes and gets kidnapped immediately, like outside the airport. I'm like, what do they think France is?
Yeah, it's really bad.
They're treating France like it's like Syria.
It's really goofballs. It's a silly film.
What happened to him? I guess his wife
died. And I think
that makes you do action movies?
Well, I think that he wanted to lose himself in the works. We started pumping out all these movies. I saw a Walk Among Tombstones.
Where'd that go, Walk Among Tombstones?
That's what Chris Walsh, my buddy Chris Walsh, who played my uncle in the film 4th of July, talking movies.
Great movie.
Thank you. You never saw it.
I did see it.
He'd not seen the final version. I was referencing scenes. You're like, I don't remember that scene.
I saw the redux, the director's cut
before it was done.
I can't pay $5.
I would have gotten you a ticket, you jackass.
All right, I'll watch it.
You never came.
I love the first one.
Yeah, we changed it. We made it better. Color corrected it.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't color corrected yet.
Are you coming to the Tom Dustin food?
I am. I'm so
October
excited.
10th. Tickets going to be on sale either today or tomorrow on Punch Up Live.
So, buying a ticket, I guess?
No, you comped.
Oh, I'm comped. Okay.
Kate has to buy a ticket.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, you don't get a +1.
I'm not getting a +1. Jesus.
Matt Wayne gets a +1, but not with that body. You're not getting it. I'm very excited. I made a film.
That's amazing. We're so excited. Tom Dustin documentary, great movie. I haven't seen it, but I'm so excited.
Portrait of a Comedian. We got some laughs. We got some cries.
Who did that photo? Was that Salacuse?
No,
of course not.
No, his name's Tom. His name is also Tom. He's in the movie. He's a podcast guy. I'll think.
Did he take it for the movie, or was it like a?
No, he just took it. Just did a portrait. And Salacuse did take the photo and then put the lettering on top of it.
Okay, well that's something. Yeah.
I did up until yesterday thought Salacuse took the photo. I'm like, you made the best poster I've ever seen, and then really he just slapped some letters on it. But it's a hell of a film.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So how long is it?
95 minutes.
Wow.
Which in the movie, I say, because I'm in the movie, and I go, this movie can't be longer than 95 minutes. And then we made some cuts to make it exactly 95 minutes.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
Are you in the movie?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Well, I mean, yeah. What did Sarah say the other day? She said, like, I brown out when I listen.
Yeah, it's tough. You're tough. I don't know how somebody dates you. Yesterday, we bump into Raanan. He's holding his water bottle under his arm and just squishing it. You're just soaking wet. You're just wet, and it's like, and this water just spraying everywhere. And then you're this guy. It's like crazy. I'm like telling a story, and I'm like, yeah, so me and my niece and my sister went downtown. Who? My niece. And we moved her into school. And then you're like, Louie? And I'm like, Louie? No, my niece. And you're like, weren't we talking about Louie? And I'm like, several minutes ago. Why would Louie move into Pace University?
I have ADD when other people are talking.
Yeah, not when you're talking.
No, my girlfriend gets very mad at me because I don't remember shit. But I always say I have a great movie memory. That's what I've chosen. I've chosen to remember movies. And my girlfriend, she remembers like shit she said to me or shit I've said to her, which is great. But then we're watching The Godfather. We saw it last year. We were watching it last night. She's like, ooh, when does, she's like, James Caan's rushing over to get to Carlito's house. And she's like, right before he gets killed, she's like, he's going to get there, right? And beat him up. Like, she didn't realize he gets killed. She didn't realize anything. She was like, what? She's like, when he goes to the dinner, she's like, is he going to shoot those two people? Or does he like she totally forgot everything.
Weird. Well, I guess you get older, and she also since then has had a stroke
She's had a stroke.
and has like
An eye stroke, not like a movie memory stroke.
But she's been through a lot of trauma. She could die at any minute.
Yeah, but how do you forget The Godfather? It's wild.
Also, man, just saying, I don't want to cast aspersions. Even if you've never seen the film, it's pretty clear that Sonny's about to get wet.
I know. He's
He's like, I oughta. And he's like driving isolated up the highway. Like anyone with any movie knowledge is like, this is
She
something.
should have done that before
down.
watching it. That's
The guy
a great
like
point.
drops a coin and ducks. You're like, so he's gonna get through this.
She sees all the Tommy guns. She's like, oh, man. This is really going to make him late. I hope he gets there.
He's just driving around.
By the way, I love that movie, but boy, can you
Oh my
see
God, it's a
that
butt.
James Caan fist not touch his
Oh,
face.
yeah, whatever.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a bad miss. But maybe he missed one punch, whatever. It's
But
weird.
you hear the punch. That's what's so bad. You hear, like, when you see.
But to make up for that, he does hit him with the stick.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't supposed to. He just flipped it at
really?
him. Yeah, and Carlo was a guy who had actual mob ties.
Oh,
and
that
so
actor?
James Caan just fucking nailed him.
He looks a little like Tom Dustin, by the way.
I never
He looks,
thought that.
yeah, like I look like Matt Wayne. He looks like Tom Dustin, exactly.
Yeah, I guess so. What a film. Let's talk Godfather. What a piece of cinema.
It's amazing. Yeah, watching it, it's just, yeah, it is really just fucking, it's just like, it's so weird to also get the iconic shit out of your head and just watch Marlon Brando as an actual performance. Because it's so shrouded by, like, mythology and iconicness, you know?
I guess so.
But it's such an amazing performance. And yeah, no, I mean, well, I've been reading this book by this editor, sound designer, Walter Murch, who did sound design for The Godfather.
I sell merch.
Yeah, exactly. And he and he had some, like, this interview. You got to read this book interview. It's with him and the guy who wrote the book for English Patient. It's just him interviewing Walter Murch's experience sound designing and editing. It's full of so much valuable insight. But one of the things he talked about is when Pacino goes to that restaurant,
Louis' Restaurant in the Bronx.
Louis' Restaurant in the Bronx.
It's perfect for us.
He's in there, and when he's about to shoot him, you hear that train, right? And Walter Murch talks about how this was a very experimental moment in the movie because Coppola wanted no sound in that restaurant. He didn't want any score. He only wanted the score to come in right after. You know how he shoots them? Yeah. He only wanted that kind of corny score now, like right after. But Walter Murch was like, use sound in that to build suspense. And that train sound was very experimental because it could have been a train like nearby, but it's loud as if it was recorded on the tracks. And the loudness of the train means that the sound is on some level metaphorical and really talking about his internal thoughts. You know what I mean? So it was using an actual sound that could have existed in physical reality for the metaphorical implication that this is his brain going really quickly right before he shoots, or like his heart beating really quickly.
Right.
And it has such an effect. I mean, you remember the sound of the train, right? It has such an
I remember well. You might remember me just quoting every line from the scene. Yes. They got the box and the
busy being
chain.
around
Yeah,
Kane.
yeah.
I'm used to, But yeah, so it's just like amazing little tidbits, you know. Sound is fascinating.
Sound is important.
Sound is important. I've been watching Eraserhead, which I've never seen, and sound in there is wild.
Drew Lynch.
His son, his stuttering son, who's a comic. He wouldn't seem like David Lynch would have a son who stutters who became a comedian. That seems right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe it is his son.
I don't think so.
Have you seen that amazing clip of David Lynch where the producers
Yes.
are like, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I just get hard watching.
He's like, who gives a shit how long the scene
the
is?
fucking scene is.
Yeah. But you watch David Lynch and you're like, it's a little long.
He probably was filming for like an hour. Like, yeah, we don't really know the context of that clip.
No, he's a
Probably
fascinating
filming
artist.
a tree for 2 hours. And they're like,
I'm listening to Rick Rubin's book. Did you read that book? Listen to it. It's a good listen.
yeah, I hear he's good.
He's very good, and it's fascinating. It
What did
does.
he
It
do?
makes you
What
want
did
to
he do? He
create.
put the beats on songs. What did he do?
No, that's Dre.
What did he do, Rick Rubin?
He's a producer. Everyone always wants to shit on Rick Rubin. He
I don't
doesn't
shit
play
on
an
Rick Rubin, I'm
instrument,
asking.
whatever. But yeah, he's a producer.
But he doesn't play
produces
an
things.
instrument.
But we had this debate before. He plays a little guitar. Yeah, he's a tastemaker. He's a Buddhist. He knows how to. He does the whatever, and they make good music. But some people hate him.
Well, can I just ask this? Maybe I'm going to sound very ignorant, but whatever. I have no. I've sounded ignorant before, but isn't
On
a
this
lot
episode.
of what he talks about like waiting for like artistic inspiration and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I read the book. I don't want to
Doesn't
speak
the
for
album
him.
kind of come to him and then he figures it out?
Come to him.
Like, I mean, he agrees to work on it. He doesn't work at it from the early stages, does he?
No, I think the artist he facilitates artists' best work by laying down
No, I'm
and
sure
doing
he's
it quiet.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does a good job, I guess.
Yeah.
But some people, I think he worked with Black Sabbath, and they hated him. I was reading because like
really?
they're like, he's never there. He's like barely ever there. And he was like, forget that you're a heavy metal band. The first album, you weren't a metal band. Just think about that. And then he like leaves, and they're like, what the fuck's he talking about? Like, I think like he's a guy who's very woo-woo and philosophical and Buddhist. So I think a lot of artists are like, what?
And then there's like this questionable, like, how much credit does he deserve kind of thing.
And there's a massive amount, like you're paying him a massive amount, and he's just like off doing other things. But he's like trying to lay upside down backwards for 1 hour, and he's like sing in a British accent just to see, and then they do the take after that, and they're like, I don't understand what. Which I get. I mean, it's hard because sometimes you're like, this person's a genius, and other times you're like, this person's pretentious idiot.
I guess it's both. You know, you kind of have pretentious shit, and some of it works. I don't know. So he has great insights, though.
Yeah, I'm always impressed by people, and I try to do this as a bit too, because like I come from a place, and we've talked about no one in my family went to college, and from a very blue collar town, so. For me, it was just, you were an asshole if you were like, I really love the score of this film, and I think all the red tones represent the anger of the child. Well, I mean, people were like, you're a
you
bleep that.
You have that still. When I talk about a poem, you act like I'm fucking like, you're like, who are you, a fucking asshole? I asked you if you read a poem once. You're like, you think I'm gay? You still have that Boston thing in you.
Well, you're busting out poetry and Russian literature
but
like an asshole.
You're into Ingmar Bergman. What's the difference? It's all the same.
Bergman is not a poet. He's a filmmaker.
Yeah, but it's art house films.
Bergman's a genius. You're an asshole. No, I mean, I know it's hard. It's a resistance because you don't. And then when I go home, I have to pretend to like Chuck and Larry get married or whatever. I'm like, oh, it's a riot.
And then when you do comedy, it's even harder because people are so quick to call you pretentious if you do anything that's an attempt at something. Oh, Coppola talks about it, as you brought up.
And there's nothing worse than a pretentious film.
But he's also talking about how he's like, to go ambitious is to risk that. It's really hard. You have to. Right. He basically kind of says you have to ignore that worry of being pretentious.
Yeah, and it holds you back. So that's why I'm so impressed by guys.
Ignored that.
What's that?
Boy, has he ignored that over the years.
Well, I'm like, I'm always impressed by Rick Rubin because I'm like embarrassed to say I meditate. I'll say to my wife, I'm like, hey, I'll be right. I gotta go do my dumb meditation. I'm like, why am I saying it's an ancient
It's
thing.
so tough to be from Boston. Just to have it's like that Bill Burr bit. Just like anything you do, you just hear someone calling you gay.
Yeah.
Like it's really just an awful place.
It's a nice place. It's better than Louisville. Fuck Louisville. At least we have the Kennedys.
Louisville, I say I meditate. No one's fucking like calling me a queer.
That's because you don't have any friends there. I'm sure there's queers. We have the Kennedys, goddammit, and no Kennedy has ever made the wrong decision. How about this? We can't talk politics, but how about RFK Jr. jumping on the Trump train?
Oh, yeah, well, I saw that coming from 10 miles away.
I don't want
I don't want to name names, but I'm really sick of... Look, if you're a Trump supporter, obviously I mean, look, my personal opinion, and I really do believe
opinion,
is that if you're a Trump supporter, you're either religious or a bit of a dick. I think that's a fair assessment.
Well, the religious thing is weird also because you're like, you could see that he's not a Christian.
Yeah, but you're also like a little, you're used to being wrong. It's not that big of a deal to be more wrong, you know?
Don't you think it's strange to be like, he's a, I mean, I guess if you're pro-life, I always say this
but
about
they think the Bible, they think the world is 6,000 years old. Of course they're going to think, like they're wrong about so much. Why wouldn't they also be wrong about Trump, you know?
Well, I guess
if Trump's like, I'm a Christian, I know the Bible, you know, Humpty Dumpty, that's my favorite chapter of the Bible. Like, they also, like, they're going to believe him. He compares it with the fairy tale.
That's great.
I love Snow White. But, like, if he, like, but they're like, yeah, I believe him. They also believe that, you know, whatever, Jesus turned into a bat and became Batman or whatever. I don't know the Bible, but they believe all that shit.
I don't know the Bible either, but yeah, it's a good point.
I'll try to do a bit on stage about how, like, Jesus back then, people were both philosophers and magicians at the same time. Like, he'd say a profound point, but then to prove it, he'd follow it up with like a magic trick. He'd be like, love thy neighbor as yourself. And if you still don't believe me, you see that bread? Boom, boom, boom. It's fish down. Never be like, oh, you made a good point.
You do that?
I'm trying to start working on that.
That's great.
Is that fun? All right,
That's gold. I mean,
tell that to the Funny Bone audience.
I mean, I
Dead
do.
silence.
I am. It's a good angle. I do get annoyed by the people being like, here's why God's stupid. And you're like, have we not covered
What are you
this?
talking about? But you can have new takes to that.
You can have new takes. That's a new take. It's very funny. Made me laugh. You're a nice guy. You make me laugh. Lost in America.
I mean,
masterpiece.
I think when it comes to jokes about the Bible, I think it's it's annoying when people make fun of like the people who believe it literally. Like at this point, it's like,
But you just did that.
yeah, but I'm making fun of kind of the. I'm making fun of more of the nuance of like what he did in the Bible. It's not specifically just.
No, but
I'm
you're
not
making fun of people that believe. You're saying Christians are wrong. They're idiots. So of course they believe in Trump. You're saying they're idiots for believing it.
Oh yeah, I'm being smug.
Yes.
But I'm not like being like,
Smug Costanza.
how can so many animals fit on a boat? I'm not like being that. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm more of like looking at the, it's definitely smug. But
One of the best scenes ever, Lost in America, with whatever that guy's name is, not Carl Reiner, I always forget his name.
Oh,
Marshall.
Alan King.
Gary
Oh, no,
Marshall.
Gary
Marshall. You're a nice guy. You make me laugh. And he goes, these schmucks that watch Wayne Newton. He goes, I like Wayne Newton. He goes, I said Wayne Newton? He goes, you just said Wayne Newton. I'm a schmuck because I like Wayne Newton? He goes, I didn't mean to pick that as a dividing point.
So most 80s comedies, people are like, you got to watch it. You haven't seen that? And you watch it. It's a bunch of nerds gang raping like dwarf or something. And
That's true.
It's a bunch of like just rape seen as pranks, Hey,
You're
wouldn't it be
a
a
funny
funny
person.
prank? Would it be a funny prank if we raped that girl? And like that's a comedy. But Albert Brooks, you watch his comedy from the 80s, you're like, this is so ahead of its time. This is modern comedy. Like this is like comedy later, like nuance, kind of like Curb, all of that comes from that.
Yeah, no, he's a genius.
He's a huge influence on Larry David. I think people
course.
like especially Defending Your Life when he gets like annoyed that she has a bigger hotel.
Yeah.
Like it's like Larry David's a big influence. I mean, he's a big influence on
No,
Larry.
I mean the opening scene in Lost, not the opening scene, but when he's in Vegas and he's like trying to palm the guy money, he's like, "I'm not any good at this. How much money is it going to take?" It's amazing.
That's incredible.
He's just, incredibly funny.
I mean, the opening of Lost in America, just the thing on the radio is the funniest thing ever.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
just, I don't know if people remember, but it's Larry King, and someone is just going on no, it's not Larry King, it's a film critic.
Yeah, I forget who.
What's his name? The one with the mustache, I think.
Gene Shalit.
Maybe him. But someone's going on the longest rant. It's like 2 minutes, and then you just hear him go, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's great. It's a fucking brilliant
By the way,
film.
have you seen Theo Vaughn do the Trump thing, like interview Trump?
No, your phone's ringing.
It is the funniest thing in the world. I don't really know, like, Theo Vaughn. I guess it's a character, but it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it. Sarah said he's amazing on podcast.
He's talking to Trump, and he's just, like, so southern rednecky, and Trump is like, the economy was really great. It was better over me than Biden. It was really good over me. And Theo Vaughn's like, I know, man. My cousin bought a boat.
I did see
Like the
that.
funniest line ever.
I did see that.
To just think for a redneck's gauge of the economy being his cousin buying a boat,
Right.
and also hearing it and knowing there's no way that was a good financial decision at the time.
Right.
It's just so funny.
Right. By the way, I never talked about Ian Lara. What he said that was so
Jesus Christ.
smart.
Yeah, what did he say?
I just wanted to say he's very smart, but not wise.
Oh, right. We're back
But
to
what I
that.
was going to say
He's wise.
is he made a good point. He's like, the people that blow up off of Rogan are kind of doing a character.
Yeah.
Like Theo has the mullet. He's like
definitely doing a character.
He's
yeah.
like, I'm a redneck, and he's like, you ever eat a raccoon?
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
And even Mark's first one, I'm not saying he's doing a character, but like he's got the sunglasses, the suit. He's like, I
Yeah.
barely made it here. I'm hungover.
right,
It's
right,
crazy.
right. Yeah.
Which he probably got 10 hours of sleep the day before. I don't think. I mean, so he's like, woo, I'm crazy. I'm sweating.
We're
This
too
is
like,
nuts.
yeah, we're too sincere, I guess.
Yeah, well, we go in. I'm like, whatever you want to talk about, sure. I'm just like, yeah, aliens. I don't know.
Well,
That's cool. Interesting.
The first part, I just kind of followed his lead, but like we end up like, if I don't think a lot of people got through the first 50 minutes because most
I know
people
I didn't.
probably don't want to hear me talk about running for 50 minutes because that's what happened.
Talked about
We just
running?
started talking about running. You had to listen to me.
You've ran before?
No, we just started talking about it, and but then finally halfway through, I just started throwing out personal. I was just like, I got molested. My girlfriend had a heart attack. I'm just like throwing shit out.
That's what I did. I'm like, I got herpes. I
Yeah.
shit my pants.
just
I was
wrote
mugged
it-
last night.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, you're the worst guest of all time, you piece of shit. And I'm like, well, what? Can't he do something for me?
His podcasting style, I get it. Some people like it's a little like he loves to read Wikipedia articles out loud. It's like being with my aunt. It's wild. It's like my aunt used to read like full newspaper articles out loud. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? He'll like, and then you try to get personal. You'll be like, yeah, like my girlfriend had a stroke. And like, there's a video of a guy having a stroke on American Airlines, and we look it up and watch it. It's like wild. At one point, it affected me. At one point, I spent 5 minutes explaining the details of a really old YouTube video.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I mean, I love doing the show, but it's hard to, because I'm not like.
I love doing it too. Hopefully, I'll be back.
It's hard. You're not doing it again, but it's hard to be like, let me tell you this story. This is hilarious. I just feel like there were two guys, because I think it's because he's so welcoming and warm that you feel like you're having coffee with a guy or a cigar. And if I was having a cigar with Joe or you or Lex, I wouldn't be like, and another thing, this crazy shit, you got to come see me down the Holly Club. You got to come. Like, I'm just like this. Oh, yeah,
It's
that reminds
wild.
me. That's interesting.
It feels like, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, it feels like he hasn't pressed record yet the whole time. It feels like you talk, and they're like, are you going to press record? He's like, no, that was it.
Right.
Like,
well,
so,
Bennington does that, too. It's very similar.
Yeah, but like, so you just feel like, you're just like, yeah, let's just talk about this like old video of like a kid like singing the national anthem in the subway for like 45 minutes.
Right, it's a long anthem. But people have said this before. They're like, you got to do Joe on Tuesdays with Stories with Joe. But I'm like, but that's a totally different show. We're like doing a show.
Wait,
Mark and I are doing we're doing like George and Jerry. It would be
also
crazy.
bounce off each other. You can't be like, my father's gay, and he's like, your father's gay. Let's talk about it.
Right, yeah. Like, it would be so insane to me.
You'd literally be like, I didn't know your father's gay.
Yeah, I
And
can't
you're
go
like,
on
he's
there
not gay.
and be like, yeah, I eat cum off my dad's back.
Here's the exact exchange I would have. You would have been like, my father's gay, and he's like, your father's gay? You're like, oh no, he's not. And then, why'd you say he was gay? Well, I was just making a joke. What's the joke? No, just it's from Seinfeld. That's in Seinfeld. That would have been the exchange,
right? Yeah. So it's difficult, and but I think I do okay. I thought you were great.
We're both great. I mean, neither of us listen to each other, but we're both great.
No, you listened to mine.
I listened to a little. Yeah, it was good.
What are you talking about? You said it was great. You wrote like a long thing about how good my episode was.
Well, yeah. I don't want to get you a big head on the podcast. Yeah, I'm doing a character.
But it was years later. It wasn't even like I just did it, and you were like, no, it was good. Why would you just randomly tell me how great I was?
Well, which one was this? You've done it a couple times.
The most recent one. You were like, this is so good. It's awesome. I can't believe how good you are.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the whole thing, though. Did you think I listened to the whole thing?
Maybe.
No one's listened to a whole Joe Rogan episode.
Joe Rogan episode. No, they listened to it.
My friend was...
I thought you did a fine job.
How much did you listen to me?
Just the one clip you posted and deleted. But I thought it was hilarious. I thought the 9/11 thing was very funny.
Well, you'll never see that again.
No.
But so I went back home and I had just done Rogan, and I was in the car with my friend, and he had the Rogan episode on, and it was on 3-speed.
Jeez.
It was just like...
Let me get through this. Let me rush right through this.
Like catching someone reading cliff notes of a novel you wrote.
I thought you did fantastic. I think you're a good man, and if he asks, I don't know you. And
let me make a movie take I wanted to make, though.
What movie is this? You're a good man, and I know you're going to win.
Angus?
Angus? Who the fuck is Angus?
The movie about the fat kid?
I never saw a movie.
You never saw it? It's really good.
Should be called Raanan.
It's really good.
No, it's from Taxi Driver. But no, I haven't seen Angus.
You're a good man, and you're going to... Oh, yeah.
When Palantine is in the cab.
You're always quoting the lines that aren't like the quotable lines. It's weird.
That's a memorable scene. It's a great scene.
But I'm actually going to do a take that's a defense of Scorsese and maybe a bit of a rip on Coppola. Is it Coppola or Coppola?
Coppola. No one's called him Coppola ever. Copland.
Why?
It's a film.
Why is Scorsese the one who gets flack for not having good women characters? When if you look at Scorsese's movies, Lorraine Bracco, Catherine Moriarty, Jodie Foster, Sharon Stone are greatly realized women characters, while in, like, Coppola never gets shit, but I would say one of the huge flaws of The Godfather, great movie, one of the best, the Diane Keaton character is really badly developed. She's a good actress and she's charming, but they don't explain why she would keep on going back to someone who keeps on ditching her. And I'm not saying women don't do that, but you have to create some reasoning for that. He literally ditches her the whole movie, and she just keeps on wanting back, you know? And so to me, it's a badly developed character, but Coppola never gets shit for that in Apocalypse Now. There's no women. Scorsese's good with women characters.
Well, first of all, this feels a tad straw man to me. I've never heard ananybody talk about Scorsese.
Oh, yeah, Lex.
I've heard...
No, that's crazy. He definitely gets that.
When? Maybe with the most
Irishman?
recent movie?
No, he's
well, I've never heard this. I've heard about black people. There's no black people in his movies. And if there are black people, they get beaten.
He only
killed.
focuses on men. They trust me, I didn't make that up. It's a real argument.
Yeah, I guess I just haven't heard it or seen it.
But it's bullshit, right?
Yes, whoever has said this that you've read is bullshit, but I haven't seen it. He also did Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Second movie, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I just think like it's wild that people are like women will be like Scorsese, he just does gangster pics about men. It's like I feel like he's done more period pieces where nothing happens at this point.
Right.
You
Wait,
know?
that's not his second movie. He did Boxcar Bertha. He did Who's Not Knocking on My Door. He did Mean Streets.
But
After Mean
don't we have the
Streets.
official like Mean Streets is kind of his first official movie?
I guess.
I mean, when people say Scorsese's first movie, do you think they're assuming Boxcar Bertha?
I mean,
I guess technically that's his first movie, but
Yeah.
I mean, no one's watched it.
no. But anyways, so it's not his fact. But whatever. He did Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Yeah, Taxi Driver. Of course, there's multiple. Sybil Shepherd's character is amazing. Jodie Foster is great.
Can you believe Peter Bogdanovich fucked Sybil Shepherd? Good for him. That man is ugly as shit. And she was like the hottest thing
The
ever.
hottest. My number one favorite chick ever.
I think she broke up with him, but I don't think he ever got over that.
I
don't
love
think-
Last Picture Show is amazing.
I know,
That is
man.
a fucking masterpiece film. Makes me emotional.
It makes me emotional about no longer seeing bushes anymore. There were such great bushes in that movie.
Yeah, I think they broke up.
You know, I feel like if you date someone super hot like that and they break up with you, I don't think you get over that.
No, I've never gotten over it. My ex.
Anyway, what else are we going to talk about?
Well,
I
with
feel
the
like it's
women.
the first time we've had a lag on this podcast. I've never felt a lag.
Well, I'm thinking. Well, the women also, Sandra Bernhard in King of Comedy is
Right.
great. So I don't know where you're getting this.
The fat Indian woman
Also,
in Killers of the Flower Moon.
This movie, After Hours,
Yeah,
it's
Patricia
all
Arquette.
women. They're amazing.
I'm telling you, that's a comment. You never heard that? That's a
No.
common criticism of him. Yeah.
No, I
It's
don't.
bullshit.
I knew it's gonna be a new and also Sharon Stone won the Academy
I
Award.
just brought her up. I know.
Yeah,
Robbie and Wolf of Wall Street.
yeah. Margot Robbie, Wolf of Wall Street. What
But
are you
me-
talking about?
I'm disagreeing with you, but it is a criticism. Look it up. Look
I
it up
haven't
on Google.
seen this at all. I've just heard blacks, and he got in trouble
Well,
for
the
Wolf of
blacks.
Wall Street.
No blacks in Wolf of Wall Street?
Well, he got in trouble because he would have been grandiosized or made him look good, whatever, and they didn't show the victims, which is also an annoying
Of
complaint.
course. It's like, that's not the story.
It's not about the victims.
That'd be crazy if
And
they
you
just,
think about the victims.
they just cut to victims crying.
And he didn't think about the victims.
Well, also,
That's the movie. It's about him. And he's not
Scorsese's
thinking about the
genius is
victims.
that he's not judging for you. You judge. He
Exactly.
looks at it objectively.
So yeah, I don't know about this.
Well, I guess he
women
gave shit
stuff.
that
Okay, they're saying he's made over 30 films and only one of them has featured a female protagonist.
A female protagonist. Interesting. And which one is that? Alice doesn't live here anymore. Chris Christopherson's so great.
But you're trying
Great
to,
film.
you know.
But what, that's just ridiculous. Like, why even give credence to this?
All right, I won't give
He
credence.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. It's not about women. He also hasn't made a movie about Oklahoma.
Mexican
Actually,
dwarves.
Oklahoma, I think, was the most recent movie. It's really Oklahoma. I don't know why I picked that.
Killer of the Oklahoma Flower Moon.
Yeah, I mean, like, he didn't
He
make a
hasn't
movie
made
about
movies
Canadians.
about Native Americans in Oklahoma
Yeah.
where they got killed. So you
That's why I said Canadians, and then like the band is also half Canadian. But whatever, you know what I mean. He's not. He's
fun
never made a
game. Try to
Japanese
randomly
film. Yeah.
He has made a Japanese film. Departed's a remake of a Japanese film. Keep
That's
on going.
Korean. It's Korean.
That same thing.
Whatever.
Keep on going.
And also, yeah, and oh, by the way, Departed has a woman who doesn't even fucking need to be in there. There's like the whole therapist
Yeah.
is bullshit. They just added that. That's nonsense. So yeah, that's horse shit. And Coppola, I don't know. I mean, I think Talia Shire is great. And,
She is great.
And also going back to
You
your
don't agree with
stupid
my
point-
Diane Keaton point?
The Diane Keaton point, well, because they have the innocence in the beginning. She feels very innocent, she feels very attached to him. You can see them on the date, the lasagna, and then they go
But he
out, they're
just-
Christmas shopping. And
I guess
women
it's-
back then, it was different. You're
I
like,
guess
I
so.
fell in love with this guy. That's my guy.
I guess it's the part when he comes back. I feel like she's like has school children. He goes, "Let me go on a walk with you," and he looks so like cold, but then he like immediately gets her to come with him. It's
well,
just
she's
like,
very naive. Who's being naive?
I feel like
Kay?
she leaves her kids. They're like in the playground right then, and he just takes her with him. You know?
No, time has passed. It's a fade cut.
I know.
Don't you know what that means? It means time's passed.
Well, I was gonna have a. Should we talk a little about Speak No Evil?
Well, we should tease. I got to
Tease.
We got to tease. But Speak No Evil, the remake is the American remake of a movie that's in English that came out 18 months ago, and it's gonna be a piece of shit. But Luke told me, he's like, you got to see it, which is offensive.
original,
I
yeah.
literally have a baby in my house. I put the baby down. He tells me to watch this movie. It doesn't go well for the children. I'll just say that. I don't want to give it away. Maybe people
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet. Watch it because we're gonna tease it. Speak No Evil.
one of the biggest wallops of a movie. Just like a movie that just digs into you and your soul.
It's changed our lives.
It's big. I mean, it's about like letting people like walk all over you. And let's just say, since I watched that, I told a 13-year-old to stop punching me on the face on the subway. So I'm like standing up for myself.
Nice. Lex, have you seen this film?
No, but I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
It's
A Mexican guy raped my girlfriend. I said, finish quickly
it's
and get out of here.
this bit sucks. It's unbelievable. You must watch this film. I mean, it is
wild.
stunning. It is.
We're going to talk all about it in
frightening.
the next episode, but with probably a lot of anger because we had seen the remake.
We got to watch the remake, and in the remake, you can already tell by the trailer it's a different thing.
Well, you see them fighting back.
Right.
Can I say something, though? I honestly,
Sure.
as much as I...
It's your show.
Funny guy. As much as I love the original, I guess I do understand in this situation why they'd be like, let's do this with like a happier ending. I might not agree with it artistically.
But we don't know it's a happy ending. We haven't
We
seen
don't
the second
know,
one yet.
but it's going to be. Don't you think?
Well, it is Blumhouse, but it does. I mean, just the fact that they're fighting back, teaser. But we
Right.
don't want to give away too much.
But I also think, like, I was talking to my friend McCabe, he brought this up, like, the most disturbing movies are typically foreign for two reasons. Number one, they don't have to have happy endings. And number two, you don't know the actors, so it feels very real.
Right.
It's hard to get that disturbed if it's like Robert De Niro being tortured. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like this, it just, you feel like those I think all movies the actor should only be in that movie.
well,
I don't
maybe
think you should ever see
so
an
acting
actor-
shouldn't be a career.
I think it should be a one-time thing. That way it feels real.
The union just falls apart
I
immediately.
can't believe De Niro's and all these. It just takes it away a little.
Couple things. One, most American horror movies, they try to get unknown actors.
That's true. And
The
that
majority of horror films. But also, foreign films don't have to have a happy ending. It's interesting because every time I have an interaction with a foreigner, I get a happy ending. Now, that's how you deliver a joke. But this movie, it stays with you. It lingers. The performances, it is so suspenseful and so disturbing.
Yeah.
This is a film.
It wrecked me. It's one of those movies. There's only been a couple movies where you're like, well, there's different levels of horror movies. There's like the enjoyable horror movie like The Conjuring. That's just like really fun. It's scary, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Then there's a higher up level, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where you're like, feel the need to turn it off while you're watching it a couple times, which is like definitely like
I guess if you're a bitch.
good level of a horror movie. Then there's a top shelf horror movie, which I would say this is, and Martyrs, where Martyrs more so than this, where part of you regrets watching it.
Right.
Like that's a real horror movie where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have seen that. I mean, it is fucked up. It's one of the most fucked up movies ever. We actually shouldn't be recommending it so willy-nilly. I recommended it to my friend, and he almost stopped being friends with me.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I was mad at Luke because I'm like, I have a child. This is crazy.
I know, it's weird. And then I recommended it to Ben Moore, who has no children, doesn't give a shit. Like, but apparently he doesn't like horror movies. One of those bitches. It's like the people who are like, I don't like roller coasters. No, you're scared. You're fucking queer.
Right.
But like, he doesn't like horror movies, and so I didn't tell him it was a horror movie. So like,
That's
he ended
really
up.
mean.
He ended up. Well, I just forgot. I guess I said maybe a thriller, but he ended up being someone who doesn't watch horror movies, watching one of the most horrific
Horrifying,
horror movies.
yeah. You got to see it. It's unbelievable. I wanted to say another thing. I don't know if we'll ask these people. Going back to the Trump thing, because this now is talk movies and politics.
Yeah, of course.
It's what this one should be called
we're
the
part of-
Godfather horror movies politics.
Well, like history is like happening before our eyes. We can't just be like, oh, did you see the new Jim Carrey movie? Like we have revolutions happening.
I guess, but if you have a movie podcast, you could.
Yeah,
just
but
talk
we
about
can't
movies.
ignore it. We can talk about it. Yeah.
Well, you said everyone that votes for Trump is a dick or a Christian,
Yep.
but
It sounds smug when you repeat it back to me, but I think it's
very
true.
smug. But I do think a lot of these people, and I don't want to sound like a Trump guy, but I try to understand people. A lot of people are so fucking sick of the woke, which they did a good job at the DNC. But I'm on the ground. I'm boots on the ground. I'm in Twitter. I'm in Instagram, and people write to me, call me a piece of shit, a cuck. It's all because of this moral high ground horseshit that the left takes. The left has created this in a lot of ways. And the open border bullshit and the trans and all the virtue signaling stuff.
But don't you
a lot of it is that.
Don't you think the
and
right...
they want to keep their money from the taxes and the
Don't you
market
think
or whatever.
the right also has a moral high ground? We just don't it doesn't make us feel bad, but like it's still self-righteous to be like, whether ever you side on this, like, I don't want no trans. I don't want someone telling my kid he's trans. You know what I mean? Like, isn't there like a self-righteousness there too? Or like, I don't want all these immigrants coming in and isn't there like an angry self-righteousness about America not helping its own people?
I suppose. Well, the part with the people coming into the country, I think they see it as not their own people.
Right, but it's still
they're
like,
not legally
right.
here.
So, but there's still like anytime you're angrily saying like, this country's falling apart because of this, and then you say something like kind of like really outlandish, like I don't want any immigrant or anything. It's like there's a self-righteousness there.
Yeah,
we're
so.
just not receptive to that self-righteousness because we understand more of the moral inclinations of like the left. So it feels more self-righteous from the left, but I feel like the right is just as self-righteous. It just we're just not as,
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I want to be on the record here. Like, I think the right is a million times worse.
And that's how I feel. I mean, like, and I get the woke shit is out of control, and it really is bad. Like,
but they're pulling back a little bit. DNC, no mention of that shit. They didn't do any of that shit, which was nice.
Yeah, no, it's. I was I don't want to. I was at my friend's place. He was working at his job. We were outside. He was like on call, like Zoom. It was like a software company, and at one point he said, "Oh, that person's grandfathered in," and then he apologized. He said, "I know we're not allowed to use that word anymore." And I asked him afterwards, and it was like, serious. They can't say grandfathered in. This sounds like a right-wing talking point.
I didn't even know it. I thought you were going to reveal the word. Grandfathered?
Grandfathered in is not acceptable in corporate, in like
why?
Left-leaning, because it's like male-centric. I'm serious. I'm not joking. It sounds like I'm like
I'm voting for Trump.
It sounds like I'm like Ricky Gervais on stage being like,
Gervais?
Ricky Gervais?
I think it's Gervais.
Gervais? No.
I've only ever heard Ricky Gervais.
Is it? No, I fucked it up. I have a speech impediment.
Oh, okay.
It's not
said
just
another name wrong earlier.
I know, I'm bad. But anyway.
Liam
Neeson. Liam?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I say anything wrong. I have a lisp.
Okay.
It's not just a lisp. It's a lisp and a slur.
A slur? Like on the train yesterday?
That kind of slur, too. Yeah. That's my lisp. You were actually lisp shaming me the other day.
I don't care what anyone says. You're one of the funniest people I've ever met.
I mean,
it's
what
crazy.
Are they saying? Who's saying
Don't look at the comments. It's ugly.
But, wait, what the fuck was I just talking about?
Right and left and the right and the left.
Oh, like the, the grandfather did.
Grandfather did. I mean, that's just crazy tough.
I know. I sound like Rocky Gervais when I'm on stage going like, soon you won't be able to say grandfather did. But that's like a real thing. I was like, my mind was blown. And I asked him, and he was like, well, it's male centric. You're supposed to just say like they're brought in. And it's the same thing. You're not allowed to say, hey guys. This is not, by the way, this is not every company. I'm sure in Texas.
By the way, hey guys, I called like 15 years ago. I'm on a podcast saying it somewhere. I was like, that's going to end. You can't be like, hey guys.
So you can't say that now in left-leaning like companies because it's not including women. And I argued with him because I was like, not only am I against woke, I actually just think a lot of wokeness is just logically wrong. Like, for instance, hey guys obviously used to mean all men because I guess only men worked, And now women work, and hey guys includes women. And to me, that's progress that a word evolves to include more people.
Right.
The idea of saying a word is bad because its origin comes from a different time, and then replacing the word doesn't make sense to me because it almost shows the level of progress to see a word evolve from a different place.
Right.
You're like, by trying to delete the past, you're cutting the history of progress. You're like not showing progress anymore.
Great point. There's many other examples of that also.
Right. Like, it's like, I mean, like, it's a major, like, it's like a major, like, issue that you find all these words. You're like, master bedroom. What are you, like, enslaved? But it's.
But also, that was never the reason.
That's wrong anyway.
That was wrong, yeah.
But even if it was right, isn't it good that master bedroom now just means a bigger bedroom?
Well, spooky was another one people tried to change. Yeah, and they were like, no, that's not what it was at all either.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, that word shit is just it's just not logical. I mean, I truly think wokeness is also just kind of racist towards brown people.
Of course.
But
so these are all reasons, though, that people are getting hammered over the head with this, and so they go, fuck this.
But I think their reaction is a failed reaction to it. It's similar to the people who are so fed up with Israel's actions and they think Israel's dehumanized Palestinians, that their response is to dehumanize Israelis. Like, your reaction being like to go to the right because there's wokeness is a bad reaction to that.
Of course. It's the same. I mean, it's the same in our business where white guys dominated for so long that now they're like, get rid of all the white guys. We got to do it. Now, here's the comics to watch, and there's 0 straight white guys. It's like, well, this doesn't make any sense either. And now it's like, I could make the same complaint that you were making before.
Right.
Like, there used to be, people would count the percentages, break it down by gender and race and sexuality. And I'm like, they stopped doing that. I'm like, why don't you keep doing that?
Right. Yeah, it's like
because it doesn't fit their narrative. Well, it's the answer, by the way.
We should have fairness,
right?
And instead, it's just other people wanting them to have more power than others. You know.
Now the problem is with the right. I understand people that want to vote conservatively for all these reasons: the border, and tougher on crime, and whatever else, whatever these reasons are, pro-life. I understand all these reasons. The problem is you chose a guy who's on a telephone call going, just find me 15,000 votes.
Yeah, I mean,
and he said, John McCain, find me a guy I don't like. He's not a hero, who is a hero without a question. And it's like, yeah, he got caught. He's a piece of shit. And then he's calling people retarded and Pocahontas. Like, the guy's a literal piece of shit swindler.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, even when Biden was in office,
he still is in office.
He's still in office, kind of.
Pretending he's not.
I always said, like, even if you hate Biden, you should vote for him just simply because when he's done, he'll step down.
Right.
Like, even if you hate someone, if the people cannot agree to democratic rules, you can't vote for them because they might not ever step down. If someone you hate if they're at least going to step down, then you have to vote for them just to continue the democratic process.
Right.
It's insane how many people take for granted democracy. It's like wild. It's like democracy is a fragile thing, and it had fallen apart in other countries. And one of the problems, I mean,
most of the countries,
yeah,
through
it's
history.
a failed experiment most of the time. And most of the problem is people call Trump Hitler, but he's not Hitler, but he is a lot of the kleptocrats who have taken over countries and made democracy unravel to continue their own corruption.
And he says the quiet part out loud, as they say. He says it. He keeps saying it.
What's wild? I was talking to some guy at the cellar, and he's like, "Do you really think Trump won't step down if he gets reelected?" I'm like, he already did. It's insane. He did that. And people are like, but he won't do it a second time. It's like insane.
Well, people act like it didn't happen because eventually there was a transfer of power, but they realized that like it's only because Mike Pence was like, nah, I can't do that, dude. Like he was like, please do this.
It's like if I threw a bomb at you and it didn't go off, and then people were like, well, the bomb didn't go off, so he didn't mean it. You know, it's like Trump would have done that if he got away with it. Just the fact that he didn't get away with it is not like evidence in support of him.
Well, I know. It's also like the great cancel culture metaphor. It's like tearing down a house and then you rebuild the house and they're like, the house is right there. They're like, oh, are we not in a democracy right now? Is Joe Biden not in office? And you're like, well, they did run around looking for the Speaker of the House and tried to hang the Vice President. Which also is so weird to sign up as vice president. Like, he literally wanted them to kill his previous vice president.
It's so weird. They just think it's all a joke. Like, they think his coup was, like, ironic. They're like, yeah, it's just a fun little bit.
Right. And then Joe Biden stepping down, not running, like, that's a coup. I'm like, there wasn't an overthrow. It wasn't violent. It wasn't illegal.
Well, also,
how can it be a coup?
All the people.
That's not a coup.
It's not a coup.
By definition, it's not a coup.
But every Republican who said that was a coup before that said Biden's dementia is a danger and he needs to step down.
Right.
And then they pressured him not to run again, and they're like, coup!
Right.
Coup! But like, you just said he had dementia and he should step down. That's a bad faith argument. And that's why I do think Trump supporters, if they're not Christian, which is basically me saying all Trump supporters, and it's going to sound smug, all Trump supporters are either some version of dumb or a dick. You know?
Or deliberately ignorant.
But it is being a bad faith arguer to say it's a coup when you just said Biden has dementia. It shouldn't step down. So yeah, but obviously we're going to lose people and people are going to hate me. But like,
they're not listening this far in.
Yeah, no, they're not listening this far in. But Trump, I don't like hang Mike Pence was a sign. People had like rope and stuff. People were like looking for people.
Yeah, they're looking for them. And also, someone just brought up this great point on a podcast is like you can go back in real time and watched like InfoWars,
right,
and they literally were like, "This is it.
this
It's
is
the
the
revolution. We're getting them." And then like the next day, they were like, "That was a joke.
It was a joke. It was a bit.
Like,
It was a
what are you
bit. You don't
talking
know
about?
bits.
They literally like, "Here we go," and then like 3 days later, they were like, "That was Antifa."
Well, that's why
we were like, well, "No, it wasn't."
That's why some stand-ups like Trump, because they're like, he's joking like me, but it's different. It's not a joke with him. Like, you can't like a stand-up will like, I was just joking on stage, but it's like, fine. But when Trump does shit, that's not like a bit. Like when he like tried to send all like Muslims back when they flew in, that's not like
I gotta go.
That wasn't like a stand-up routine. You know what I mean?
Right.
When he, forced kids to separate kids from their parents in that wasn't him like experimenting with a new joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's not a good guy at all, and just completely fraudulent. But what are you gonna do? Vote for him. Have fun.
Vote for him.
Enjoy
Fuck
it.
the
Maybe
country.
your
Democracy doesn't matter.
Maybe your taxes will go up or
We have
whatever.
no country. We're like not woke, but we also hate Trump.
I do get to know this though. I was at Pearl Jam last night. Eddie Vedder's like, "Don't let him divide us. We are not divided. We can't be divided." And it's so annoying because you're like, okay, well, I'm pro-life and I'm voting for Trump and I donated $5,000. He's gonna be like, "That's terrible."
I know.
All right, well, we're divided. Like both sides are dividing the side. Like, just embrace. We're divided.
It's okay to be divided.
We're terribly divided.
I don't want to find common ground with QAnon conspiracy theorists.
Right.
Let us be divided.
Also, he's on the phone saying, "Just find me the votes." Is that not disqualifying? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a joke.
He's literally on the phone.
He
with
was
the
running
governor.
5 minutes. That was his Jimmy Fallon set. That was his
A
Jimmy
private
Fallon
phone
set.
call.
He was
Find
like,
me
"Wouldn't
the
that be
votes."
funny if I asked that?"
He's like, "Just find them for me. I'll win."
It's a bit.
It's insane.
You don't get comedy.
We got to go October 10th. Tom Dustin, Portrait of a Comedian at Village East, Cinema East, whatever the fuck. It's somewhere. I don't know. And it's also going to play at Skankfest. We'll be at Skankfest.
Oh, I got some other gigs I got to bring up.
I'm in my fucking plugs, you jackass.
I thought you were pointing me for me to continue.
I'm saying, Will, you and me.
we're doing a live Joe and Raanan at Skankfest.
That's right. And the movie premieres. And November 9th, Town Hall, 3 days after the election. Who knows what the city's going to look like? It's all going to be gone. I bought an AR-15.
That's wild. Because that must have been a political place.
It was for women. It was the womenens spot. It was where women went to have their voices heard or whatever. Their bullshit. So it was women's bullshit. All right, go ahead.
I got a bunch of gigs coming up, but most importantly, if you're in LA, I'm headlining the Belly Room, which is also for women. That used to be the room for women. We're both in spaces that were normally for women. I don't know what that says about us, but I'll be at the Belly Room. I got some funny comics on the lineup. Luke Moniz.
Hey, that's my guy.
Ismail Lutfi, a Jew. Always got to have one Arab on a show now. And I think, someone else. Who was it? Oh, Tom Takar.
Tom Takar.
That's a diverse lineup.
Love it, yeah.
Half Indian, a fucking Muslim wacko, and a tall guy. Ishmael. Yeah,
I love Ishmael.
Yeah, but he's a
not
wacko. He's a
What do you mean?
wacko.
What do you mean
Politically.
wacko? Well, his politics are.
He's
whatever.
a great guy, but politically, he's like,
But it's also funny because again, you'd always call me this right-wing asshole. He's a liberal, very left.
He's left.
And you think he's this jackass, crazy maniac, and you think I'm right-wing.
I don't think you're right wing.
You used to say that a lot.
We're both in the center. But please come.
Center left. Whatever.
Yeah, center left. Tickets are now available. Belly Room. Go to Raanan Hirschberg. No, just go to my Instagram, Raanan Comedy, and the ticket link is in the bio. Raanan Comedy. Go to my bio. Get tickets for the Belly Room. It's September 23rd. In LA. So come see that. I'll also be in a bunch of other places, but that's most important. Go to the Belly Room. I need to sell that out.
Also, October 27th, I'm shooting my new special, Zanies, Chicago.
Amazing. That's incredible. Oh, also, if you haven't donated to my movie and you still want, I just had a preview come out. So you can see the preview.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
I'm very excited.
MemoryRoomMovie.com. If you haven't donated, go there, donate. You get a lot of cool rewards. Your name in the movie, producer credit, you know what I mean? Whatever. We'll take an actor. We'll put your face over it, and we'll CGI you into the movie. So just donate, MemoryRoomMovie.com. We're way over budget.
Absolutely. And I'm over time. I got to relieve my wife. She's going to do Bonfire.
Relieve her.
I'm an asshole.
Cut.
Bye.
Joe likes Scorsese, and Raanan is Jewy. It's Joe and Raanan talk movies.